Hey BookTube, this video is going to be about how I tackle big books. And I have 5 tips for you today. Hopefully, if you're a bit intimidated by big books, these tips will help you. I wrote some notes down because usually I'd say maybe around 99.9% of the time, I forget at least one thing that I wanted to say. I'm going to say something wrong, maybe mispronounce something, use the wrong term because my mind goes blank sometimes when I record, or I'm going to forget something. So hopefully these notes will keep me on track. I have 5 tips for you today that I use, and hopefully these will work for you as well. So before we get into the 5 tips, I want to say something to keep in the back of your mind before you start this. And just, if you're a reader, this is something just always good to keep in the back of your mind, because you might see something that you might be interested in reading, but because it's big, you might be intimidated by it. So the first thing to do and realize is that big books are not intimidating. They are just a regular book. Just look at it that way. Don't look at it as a big book, because these tips will help you break it down to where you're going to be more comfortable with reading these books. And the more big books you read, the more comfortable you become with it and the less intimidating they will be. Number 1, realize that the page count does not matter. It is a longer book, but it can be broken down and separated to where it's similar to multiple books. So don't look at the amount of time. Don't look at it as something that's discouraging. Just know that it's going to take you a little bit longer, and the page count really does not matter. Number 2, decide if you want to set a completion date or not. So for instance, if you're reading this for a book club, they have a set date typically, and you have to read a certain amount of chapters or complete the book by this date. So you're going to choose if you want to set a specific date, or if you just wanted to go with a different method. All right, number 3, after you decide if you want to complete it by a certain date, you're going to set that date. And you're going to see how many pages you need to read between now and the time that date comes. Next one is the one that I prefer, is to set it by a month. So I'm going to choose a realistic month that I want to complete this book by, like The Powers That Be. That book is long, and I know it's going to take me a long time to finish it, but I don't have a set completion date. I just want to finish it by the end of the year, and hopefully I will finish it. I want to complete every book that I'm reading by the end of the year, and I have so many books in progress. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that, because I am starting one more book this week, and I just started another one earlier this week. So hopefully I can meet my goal of completing at least everything I have in progress by the end of the year. So if you're setting a month, just choose a month, a realistic time that's not going to stress you out. Maybe 2, 3, 4 months, depending on how long it is. If you're not used to reading big books, this will be helpful for you. I wouldn't recommend my next one, which is no completion date, which is to just read whenever you can. I think that not setting a completion date or month for you might have a negative impact on your reading, because if you're not already used to it and you're not like already in the flow of doing this type of thing, then it might be something that you're not willing to stick with. So I started reading Alchemize when this book was released, and I'm only on page, I think like 60. I'm on chapter 4, so that's page 63. And I just read this whenever. I don't pick it up every day. It's just something like when I'm in the mood to read this type of book, then I'll pick it up and read it. And I am enjoying it. So the pace that I'm reading it at has nothing to do with my satisfaction with the book. Now I have another book here. This is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. I'm reading this with a book club that I joined a few months ago. I have never participated in this book club, so I want to make sure that I finish it before the meeting, because it's something that was already on my shelf that I was already interested in reading. So I want to make sure I have some people to chat about this with. So we are reading through chapter 20. And so here I just have a sticky note of the date that I need to have it read by, as well as the time of the meeting. And of course, I'm going to annotate it for the book club, but I just wanted to make sure that I do have the date and the page number that I need to have completed by that date marked. All right, so step 4 is to break it down. Reading a big book is not that much different from reading a smaller one. So if you're someone that's already a reader and you're reading maybe 4 200-page books a month, that's no different from reading an 800-page book, one 800-page book. Only thing is just a mental thing where you're not switching from book to book. You're completing this one big chunky book and doing that within the same time frame. So if you can read four 200-page books, you can definitely read an 800-page book. And tip number 5 is to alternate between a big book and a smaller book. And this will help to prevent burnout, and at least it does for me. I keep several books in rotation, but if you're a person that likes to pick up one book and just complete that one throughout, I think it might be easier for you, if you're not used to reading big books, is to have a smaller book that you're interested in reading and just alternate between that one so that you can keep interest in the bigger book and not feel like it's a chore to complete. So those were my 5 tips. I hope they were helpful for you. If you have any other tips that may help someone who may be intimidated by reading a big book, please drop those in the comments. I thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you soon.